Hey folks, Ariel over here at Nyth, where today we're going to do something fun because it's actually a first time for me ever doing this. We're going to send off a soil sample because, like you saw in my video of how I just keep adding nutrients back into the soil, I've always done that, but just kind of always added a broad spectrum of everything. I've never actually run and it seems to have worked pretty well. I mean, look at the yields I got this year. The vast majority of everything did really well. So I'm not concerned that there's any particular problem. I'm mostly just really curious to see how well I'm at now 5 years of gardening in this same native soil, how well I've done at managing the nutrients in it. So we're going to do a couple things here. This, like I said, is my first time. We're going to send this off and see what the results are. First thing I want to do is check if we got, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but calciferous soil. It basically would mean there's lots of calcium in it. It tends to happen in very wet areas. They get a lot of rainfall where the rain leaches other things out and leaves a lot of that. You're supposed to be able to check this by using this is plain white 5% acid vinegar, which I use for cleaning and such. It's the regular stuff in the grocery store. And we're supposed to be able to pour a little bit of this into the soil and see if you get any bubbling. I am getting none at all. Not a fizz, not a bubble, nothing. So that should mean that's not a situation that I have going on. I suspected I wouldn't. I just wanted to check because there's a slightly different soil test that you ask the lab to run if that would bubble or fizz a lot, because something at that high level of calcium in there kind of throws off the measurements of other things. So I don't seem to have that. So now we're going to take a soil test. I've just got a bowl here and my little digger, and we're going to take soil from various places around the garden because there could be one little pocket of something different going on here than here or here or here. So we're going to try to get a well-rounded sample of the soil in my whole garden. So I'm just going to dig a hole straight down in there. I'm supposed to sample to a depth of 6 inches. This little blade, handily, you probably can't see, has inches marked on it. 6 inches is almost the whole way to the hilt there. So I'm going to just dig out a little hole here, 6 inches deep. And then I'm going to take a shaving of soil the whole way down off the side of that, like a slice. And fill my hole back in. And let's sample a different spot and a different bed. Over here to the bed that had potatoes in. We got a hole 6 inches down. Take a nice little pie slice off the edge. There we go. Doing that, we want about 2 cups of soil, so I'm probably going to have plenty here and actually end up dumping some of this back in the garden. This was the lettuce bed this year. And as I said, I have just managed my soil up until this point by assuming that because I rotate my crops, I take a little bit of everything out over time. And so I should put a little bit of everything back in over time. But it will be really fun to see what the results are from this test and how well I've been able to do on that. So here we go. I've got my bowl of dirt, soil, earth, goodness, and I've taken 16 different samples from 16 little holes around my garden. They say to have at least 16 places that you've sampled so you can avoid measuring one random freak thing that's only going on in one tiny little pocket of your garden. So I'm going to just mix this up. This is obviously more than 2 cups here, and they only want 2 cups once it's dry. So I'm just going to mix this up, and we're going to let this sit inside where it'll dry pretty fast with the wood stove going. And once it's dry, I'll show labeling it, putting it in a bag, mailing it off, and then get the results. They say we should have the results in like 3 days after they get it. almost all mail going out of this area. It takes at least a week to get anywhere, so it'll probably be a little bit, but I wanted to get this part done today because I'm expecting temps very near 0 in about a day. And while the soil's gotten crusty on top already, I expect it's going to freeze solid the whole way down. That'd make this much harder to do. So this is going inside to dry out so it just weighs less for shipping. Okay guys, this is like a day and a half later after getting our soil out of the garden. Glad I did. It is, the high today was like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, so it never even got quite up to freezing today. And the ground out there is very crunchy now. This soil's just been sitting in this bowl near the wood stove here, just kind of evaporating the moisture out. They say you can send it wet or dry. I just figured it'd be easier to handle sending a dry sample. Logan Labs does a really good detailed little printout of what you need to do. They want it double bagged in case of breaking in transport, and with your name and everything on the bag. So maybe I'll spoon that so that I don't make a mess all over the counter. So they said send 2 cups of soil. Again, this is mixed from I think I took from like 17 different spots in the garden. They said 15 or more, so that should be good to get a good even idea of what's actually in there, not just hit one random pocket that might be different in some way than the rest of it. So I'm going to get this all in a bag. I'm really excited to see the results for this when it comes back. Probably things that would be easier to pour out of than that bowl, but I wanted a nice wide one so it could dry easily. So one bag labeled with raised garden bed. It says my soil sample name and my name on it. Got another bag labeled the exact same way. Going to double bag that. And then they've got a little submission worksheet here that you fill out with your name and the sample and so on. And I'm just going to put it in a box with plenty of packing material here because I don't want the bag of soil to shake around and blow up in transport. So that should be good and snug in there. It says to put this in. I've got that all filled out. Fold that up and put that in there. Read their list. I've got my client name, my address, email, sample name, instructions, names on the bags, close bags tightly, packing cardboard box, put the worksheet in there. So now I've just got to mail this off with a check to pay them. So I'm going to go grab that, get this in the mail, and hopefully within I'm assuming at least a week or so, because like I said, all the mail out of here goes really slow. Should have the results back and can see what this says, which is going to be really exciting. Hi folks, Ariel over here. Thanks for spending some of your valuable time watching these videos. Hopefully you found something beautiful, educational, interesting, peaceful, relaxing, or useful while you are here. If so, find more videos here, subscribe so you don't miss any updates, and if you like what you found here, feel free to like and share away so that others can benefit as well. You all have a wonderful day.